Hi, everyone. This is Julie Roth-Novak back again. Hopefully you got to see Colin Cowie speak at our last session. He is so much fun. I always learn from him. He's always got some new ideas that are just things, I don't know how he thinks about these ideas. So I'm so appreciative that Colin made the time to be with us. So today, yesterday, during our kind of lunch break, I guess it's different times for different people, I talked about social media. I geeked out on Instagram and LinkedIn. Today, I'm going to talk about SEO optimization and content strategy. And the two are very linked together, but it's just a different way to think about your business. And one thing at Party Slate at its core that we really pride ourselves in is really thinking about how to put together content that is valuable to our consumers, our party hosts. They can get inspired and really get to know you through your profile page, but that are also really optimized for the search engines. And so we have thousands and thousands of keywords that are putting us on page one, or whether that's top of page one, bottom page one, that's the most important place to be. Because after page one, page two, really you're not going to get that traffic, that qualified traffic that you're looking at to raise awareness and to drive people to interact with your brand. And so I'm going to share my screen. And today, what we're going to really focus on, again, is how to create an SEO-driven content strategy. And I think when people hear SEO, a lot of times they think about, oh, I need, an SEO consultant, or I need to spend a lot of money on this. And I just want to emphasize that really smart SEO, search engine optimization strategies, are really, really based on really sound content strategy. And you can't really separate the two. Yes, there is technical SEO, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But the most important thing, again, I've done, I think, 3 webinars on SEO since the pandemic started, is that SEO is one for one tied to how you think about your content strategy. And so we do have quite a few new people that joined this session, which I'm excited to see. So just a really quick about what Party Slate is and who we are. I started the company 5 years ago after many, many years, too many years to mention, doing digital marketing consulting at digital agencies, working with some of the biggest brands in the world. I hosted many, many events because I was always the person, yes, I'll plan the corporate event. I'll do the recruiting party. I'll do the holiday party, because I've loved events, I think since 7th grade, since I hosted my first party. And then I used a website called House, Home Decor, got inspired. And I'm like, I need something like this. And so you may think it was overnight, but it was about 5 or 6 years later that I got the confidence to quit my job and raise some venture capital money and start Party Slate. Party Slate's really is a two-sided experience for people planning events like me that want, I felt that, God, it's so hard to plan these events, to find new ideas, Pinterest dead ends. I was planning a lot of corporate events and fundraisers and milestone events, and really couldn't find what I was looking for. And then for event companies, venues, caterers, planners, et cetera, I realized that you didn't have a lot of time and you had a hard time really staying up to date on all your different platforms. And how could we make it easier to share your rich photo portfolio and video portfolio within minutes, becoming kind of a digital marketing expert? And so that's really what we set out to build, is a place where people can get inspired in a curated way. We're going after that top kind of 10% of the market, and connect with people that really can bring their vision to life, that really have the best venues and the best catering and the best planners for what they're looking to do. And then again, make your lives simpler by providing the marketing tools you need to build a really, really rich photo portfolio tool, video portfolio tool that complements your website and Instagram, and also a great selling tool. I know many luxury hotels that send a link to their Party Slate profile versus their website because it's a better representation of how they can transform their spaces. And again, our goal is to help you ultimately grow your business. We do offer free profiles. Many of you have your free profiles. About 10% kind of unlock enhanced features such as testimonials, meet the team, other sections, and get a boosted profile in our directory. So really up to you what is right. But again, our goal is to be the leading event inspiration platform in the world. We're not quite there yet, but we're on our way. And also, again, really be the best place where event professionals and venues can share their work and build their brand. So again, I wanted to give you that context because we have quite a bit of experience with SEO over the last 5 years. I feel like I got an MBA in SEO. And what I want to share is really how you create a smart content strategy that is tightly linked to your SEO strategy. There's 3 areas of SEO: content SEO, offsite SEO, and technical SEO. I'm going to focus a little bit more on content SEO today, but offsite SEO, all that means are people linking back to you. So let's say you got mentioned in a Party Slate article and then your profile links back to you. Let's say you got mentioned in Vogue. Is that linking back to you? That really helps Google recognize that it's real authoritative content. I'm going to walk you through what PartySlate does, our SEO strategy, because I think there's some good lessons learned to share, and then how to create your own content strategy tied on what is unique to your business and where you have the best content. And then I will give you your simple SEO action plan to take with you. So I already talked about the 3 areas of SEO. There's over 900 factors that Google uses, but they're largely bucketed into content, offsite, and technical SEO factors. No one knows Google's exact algorithm, but there's hundreds and thousands of companies and papers and thought leadership around what impacts how you get ranked on that coveted page 1. And so we're going to summarize some of those things. So to start with, I already talked about how content SEO is content and SEO go hand in hand. You really need to know what your keyword strategy is. So again, I use San Diego event planner, San Diego wedding planner. What are those keywords that would lead you to believe that that person is looking for something that you can help with? And it can't just be wedding planner. That's not long tail. You got to think about what are the words that and the content you can create that will drive people to your content. So I jumped ahead a little bit, but I want to say the building blocks of SEO, of content SEO, are really around keywords. And you can use a keyword finder or Ubersuggest to actually see what the volume is of your keywords. Pick, some companies pick hundreds of keywords or thousands of keywords, but start with 20 to 30 keywords that you want to start building content around. And they need to be, again, long tail keywords. They can't be like wedding planner or corporate planner. That's not going to be enough. There's hundreds and thousands and millions of pages of content on those topics. So you have to think a little long tail, even venues that are very popular you work with. So San Diego event planner, 4 seasons, wedding, what are those terms that have enough volume? Maybe it's 1,000 to 100,000 searches a month, but that aren't millions of searches that you'll get lost in the keywords. So once you have your keywords, then you can publish content on your website, on your Party Slate platform, on social media channels that will help give a signal to Google that you are an expert in those areas. So before we jump in a little bit further, just to do some quick content definitions or SEO definitions, metadata, when you hear people say that, that's the content that appears under your search results that gives a preview of your page. So whatever you see under there, sometimes Google will actually look at what metadata you wrote out, and other times they're going to select it themselves if they feel like the metadata isn't as good as what they've selected. So really good metadata will help tell your story the way you want to tell it. Headline structures, H1s, H2s, H3s, Google really looks at those headlines to see what the content is about. And so to make sure you have, like if you're writing a blog entry, a really strong headline and subheadlines, Google will be looking at those. Again, there's billions of crawlers, which are just pieces of code that go link to link to link, and they're taking it all and indexing it in their huge server farms. And that's how Google works. That's what they're looking at, all these billions of pieces of data. What is the right information to go on page 1, page 2, page 3? Alt text is actually a way that Google sees images and better understands what's in your images. It actually originally was about accessibility, so people that were visually impaired so that they could understand what's in the photo, but it's also to help identify for Google Images what's actually in that photo. One of the things that we love and we quite often are in is a featured snippet. So for example, we had an article called the 14 best luxury ballrooms in Los Angeles. And if someone's looking for luxury wedding venues in Los Angeles, we come up, not always, but many times in that featured snippet, that box. You can't pay your way or buy your way into those boxes. It's just Google saying, we think we have a direct match for what you searched on. And again, we're moving through the slides pretty quickly. If you do have questions, our SEO experts and team are in the chat and they can answer them for you, or we can follow up with you after. So tracking your success, it's really important that you have some feel for your organic traffic and how your content is doing. You can use Google Analytics to just track your organic traffic. So again, take out if you do any paid or anything else, you want to look at organic, which means it's you've just earned your way on those pages. You want to look at your key landing pages that are getting the traffic and even optimize them more. So let's say you have a landing page that's on page 2. You'd rather work on a page 2 Google search result to try to get to page 1 rather than something that's not ranking at all. You can use Google Search Console if that will help you kind of really dig into your analytics. But again, just tracking your organic traffic and your most popular pages is a good place to start. So Party Slate, we are SEO content marketing nerds over here. We spend so much time figuring out how do we make this beautiful profile page work harder for you, but also tell your story. So one thing that we recommend to optimize your profile page is really put a rich company description using your keywords. Again, if you're a San Diego corporate planner, make sure that you have those words a couple times in your company description. Also your event titles, really think about rich event titles instead of Julie and Doug's wedding, all white modern wedding at the Four Seasons Chicago. That's more likely to catch someone's attention than Julie and Doug's wedding. And so think about, what the event was, the setting, the venue name. Venue names are very, very high, have a high search volume. So that's always good. Colors, inspiration, key elements, all those things will really help you get found. So I talked a little bit this before, like you don't want to put names of people. And again, if that's something that's important to your brand, you want to put the names, put colon, all white, winter inspired New York wedding. So the bottom, you really think about seasonality and great rich titles that someone could search on. That will also help you in your marketing. And then I know it's hard to write these descriptions. You're like on to the next event, but this one silver lining of the pandemic is you do have a little bit more time before the world really opens back up. And I'm completely optimistic that 2021 is going to be a great recovery year and 2022 is going to be insane. I predict that. I know many of you have said the same thing, but if you have the time, writing these rich descriptions on your profile page, Amy Katz, who's on one of our panels, so excited about, this beautiful rich description. If you don't have the time, our team is happy to help or review your descriptions and make sure that you have those keywords. And it's not only good for marketing and getting people to fall in love with you on your profile page, but it's also really good for search engine optimization. So I'm not going to spend as much time on offsite and technical SEO, but content SEO, if there's one thing you can focus on, think about what are those long tail keywords that you want to rank for. Come up with a list of 20 or 30 different combinations, and then start to create content around those areas. Offsite SEO is very, very simple. It's how do you increase your page authority by getting more people to link back to you. So PartySlate's page authority is high because we have thousands of different sites linking back to PartySlate, either our articles, your profile pages. That's very, very good for SEO. So when you think about how to build your page authority, you want to think about where can you get links from your network to really start building up your domain authority. So you can ask local blogs, can I write an article for you? And then a backlink back to your site. You can say for your third-party profiles, LinkedIn, PartySlate, those help you. And then also, just a creative way to get a backlink, you could say to a venue that you love, can I write a testimonial for your venue and include it in their testimonial section, and then get the backlink from that venue. So all these ways are just a signal to Google that you have valuable content and you want to get more authority, and they're linking back to you in some way. It doesn't need to be more than one link from each website, but if you get that one link back, that's again a signal to Google. Technical SEO, if you really break it down into the most simplest form, is your website mobile friendly? Is it easy to navigate? Does it load quickly? Is it structured simply? And are you passing the PageSpeed Insights scan? And I'll talk about that next. I don't want to complicate it for you guys because your sites are pretty straightforward, but you also want to think about canonicals, which are how do you tell Google what are the most important pages. So if you think about a retail site and there's a shirt in like 16 different colors, you don't want Google to look at those 16 different pages. You want them to come to the main page for the search. And that's the same what we do on PartySlate is we create canonicals on what are the most important pages so that it doesn't get confused with our hundreds and hundreds of filters that we have on the site. So page speed insights, I'm just going to link out to it just to take a quick look. All you have to do is put in your website URL, which is just your address, and then you'll get a quick score on what your technical SEO is. And all it's looking for is, do your pages load quickly? You know, how is it viewing? Like 90 is a very, very high score. That's for our mobile. And then our desktop score, so you can see here, is 99. So that's a really, really high score. But we've also been working on it for 2 or 3 years. And we have a team of 3 SEO full-time people. So in a way, PartySlate's kind of taking a little bit of the SEO off your plate when you optimize your profile page, because we're driving a ton of people through our SEO efforts. But again, put your URL in there, take a second, and don't be too discouraged if you don't have a 99, because you guys aren't tech platforms like PartySlate. But if you're below a 50, you're probably going to want to get one of your techie friends or a developer to help you kind of break down what is going on with your technical SEO. Okay, and again, if you have questions, we have our SEO team ready to standing by to answer your questions, because I'm going to move pretty quickly. But really feel that a basic knowledge of SEO, it's not overwhelming. You guys can do it. And again, I'm so proud. The SEO webinars that our team has done with, again, the help of my team is amazing, because I know this much, they know this much about SEO. So shout out to our full SEO team at PartySlate. But what we do is we do extensive keyword research. If you put Event Planner New York, Event Planner Chicago, Event Planner LA, Houston, we are page 1. I'm really proud of that. We create these landing pages and articles based on keywords. So 50th birthday parties, that we know people that are planning big 50th birthday parties are looking for ideas. We're page 1 for that. Of course, there's a lot of keywords we're not page 1 for, but we're working on becoming page 1. So that is really important, is just we know what keywords we want, and we're working towards getting those page 1 results. We also have worked really hard in getting backlinks so that we get press, when we get in articles, influencers, we're getting backlinks from those websites. It's not only good for them because it's linking to their profile page or an article they're in, it's also good for PartySlate to raise awareness, again, within Google's framework. Really ensure all your pages have the technical SEO best practices. So for us, we have a full-time team looking at that. We're always thinking about URL structures and other things that will help us help Google identify what's on that page. Because at the end of the day, Google just wants them to find stuff that's interesting. So if they find something that's interesting, they're going to keep coming back to Google versus other solutions. And then the 5th thing we do is we really optimize these profile pages for SEO. And I'm going to link out to one. We want to make sure that there's a lot of content. It used to be 200 to 300 words Google was looking for, not to overwhelm you, but 2,000 to 3,000 words are actually what the best pages are to rank. And so we want to keep adding content. So for our premium members, we've added on testimonials, we've added on a team section, we've added on many, many other features and announcement features, so you can get more content on your page that will be richer for Google when it finds it. And then finally, you want to make sure you're, as we are doing, measuring and optimizing Google Analytics through Google Analytics, Google Analytics and Search Console to make sure that the work you're doing is actually paying off. So just as an example of an SEO friendly PartySlate profile, we've added in 2020, our tech team has been amazing on a roll. Every 2-3 weeks, we're rolling out new premium member features and some for our free profiles as well. So meet the team, FAQs, testimonials, multiple cover photos, announcement banner. We eat for venues now. We have a video tour, and more content is coming in the near future. All of this makes it easier for Google to identify that this is a real profile page. It's not what we call a dead profile. It's not just scraped data that, oh, you're all of a sudden in this directory. It's real content that someone can really interact with. On the FAQ side, Google really really rewards FAQs, because if it directly answers a question someone asked in Google, it will actually give you an inordinate amount of search results because the question is directly answered in the FAQ section. So again, we have totally, yes, we want it to be a great experience, but we also want this page to really be optimized for SEO. So to wrap up some of the basic steps of an SEO-driven content strategy, you need to know who your audience is. You need to really embrace what content, your authentic self, what you want to write about. You want to really deliver value by creating engaging content. You don't just want to be like, oh, I want to go after this SEO word. I think I could rank for it. You want to make sure that there's valuable content on that page. And so that your content can get seen. And so one thing that we've done is write these really amazing articles that are really optimized toward keywords. So 13 kids birthday party trends for 2021. We just launched that. Many of our premium members are actually written about in here. And that's been a great one because people are looking for birthday party trends for 2021. The other thing to think about is what, 5 San Francisco wedding venues with stunning ballrooms. And there's a list there. So that everything that we can create that will look good and answer questions that someone's going to have in Google will do well. Really excited about additional engaging content that we're creating. You can think about style shoots, you can think about webinars, you can think about podcasts. What content can you create to really, really get people to engage with your brand? And to make sure your content gets seen, you really need to write for Google, but also think about what those keywords are. So private dining restaurants, Miami, again, we have a page 1 result that's 14 party perfect restaurants for private dining in Miami. So again, that title is not by accident. That's by doing keyword research and seeing what we can rank for. So I could talk about this all day, and I know we don't have all day. So Kylie's telling me we're almost running out of time because we want to give you a little break before the next session. But this is your content strategy plan for SEO. Number 1, prioritize content SEO to start. Yes, I want you to get your backlinks. Yes, I want you to get a high score on your page speed insights, and that's important. But really prioritize what are these topics that you uniquely can write about that will also help build your business. So what are those 20 to 30 terms that you want to build a content strategy around? Number 2, create the engaging content and make sure it's discoverable. So again, you can put some of the stuff on your PartySlate profile, you can put it on your blog, even some of your key web landing pages. I love seeing planners that have like a venues we love section or venues we work with. Really, really smart. Like Napa Valley venues we love for a Napa Valley planner. Many, many people are searching for that term. And then you are all of a sudden could be positioned, if they find you that way, as an expert in Napa Valley weddings. Number 3, leverage your PartySlate profile. Really use our newest SEO-driven features such as FAQs if you're a premium member, meet the team, and other areas of the profile that really, really help you with that conversion in SEO. We have an SEO planning template. Again, it's not rocket science. It's not overwhelming. It's very, very simple to help you think about your keywords. Happy to send that over to you if that's something you're interested in. I will end with that no one knows, people ask me this about Google's algorithm on what is the most important. Nobody knows their algorithm. It's like their secret sauce. Again, but there's hundreds of thousands of people that do this for a living and have a pretty good idea because they do testing and learning every single day on what is important. So to the best of our knowledge, again, there's offsite SEO, that's link, backlinks back to your site is important. Social signals, not as much, 2 to 5%, but again, link backs from social is also telling Google that there's something there. And then also just your infrastructure, like your technical side is really important, and making sure that you can load it very quickly. And then your on-site technical, and then of course, the engagement with your content. So 20 to 23%, Google's looking for, do they bounce when they see your content, or do they click an additional link or stay there for at least enough time to say it's valuable? So if you have a very high bounce rate, meaning that people are seeing it and then leaving right away, again, everyone has some bounce, that's telling Google that your content isn't good. So they're very, very smart. 900 factors are going into all of these features. But what I just shared today is if you create valuable content that you think is engaging and helpful, you will be rewarded with Google. how we can help. Again, I love talking about these topics. I, again, have 20 plus years of digital experience, but the last 5 years building this market network that, is called Party Slate, we have learned so much about this. Again, I thought I knew a lot, but I've learned so much that I'm so happy to share it. Number one, we have an SEO planning template, very, very simple. We're happy to send that over. And again, we are just, you can email Kylie at partyslate.com or me, Julie at partyslate.com. We'll send it off to you. But also we're going to provide links to all the resources that we talked about. And then also, we will do an SEO kind of review of your PartySlate profile. And I'll just do a quick view because we do have some new people here at Party that are on this session. So you guys know the SEO friendly sections of our site. For example, wedding aisles and arches. This is optimized for that. You can click in and see these stunning, stunning events. And once you get to a profile page, you'll see all the credits, and you can always click here. Oh my God, look at this and that. This is what happens. I get lost in these. I get lost when I'm doing my demos. But someone asked me earlier to show a sample profile page. And just because I just talked to them yesterday, I'm going to do Four Seasons Palm Beach. We had an amazing, incredible, hey, Ashley, amazing, incredible launch party there. Memories on their poolside. It was absolutely beautiful. But if you look at their profile page, I'm just going to show you some of the conversion tools and SEO tools that we added. So as you scroll down here, you can see a really rich overview, which is great. So it's showing information about it. We have this new announcement feature. They're talking a lot about health and safety and events that links out to their website. Again, very good for your backlinks. And then you go down here, you see a video. Video is very highly engaged with. So all your videographer friends out there, and the more video, the better on your profile page. And then when you get to your real events section, this is really the core of the profile page. And this is where you can really, really drive deep engagement, and not only with the professionals you work with, but also with the people visiting your site. And again, you can get with the free profile up to 3 credited events. So other partners that have credited you with the premium membership, you get unlimited, which is, again, more content is better. And then also, again, more SEO optimized content, your event spaces here, and then testimonials. They just started to add, again, lots of copy, good for Google. The more copy, the better. And then we also have this nice Meet the Team section, which is also a premium feature. FAQs, and then of course we expose your incredible event partners that you credit or they credit you. So it shows, again, for the Four Seasons of Palm Beach, all these amazing, amazing event planners that have worked with them. So this is just a great way. Our goal here is to just drive engagement with your brand, whether they click on your website or they contact you directly through PartySlate. All of these are SEO optimized features. I forgot to mention the multiple cover photos. We just added that a few weeks ago too. Something that really helps drive and invites people in. Google's looking for that engagement. If there's engagement right off the bat, that's a great way to show them that there is amazing content here. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. We talked a little bit about content strategy and SEO. We have some tools we can share. I didn't get to everyone's questions, but hopefully our team did, because I want to give you guys a little break before our next session. I could talk all day. Kylie's like, we're out of time. So what's up next? I'm very excited that we are going to talk about, very timely, considering many of us can only do smaller events, depending on where you live, how to add really these personal touches for an Instagram worthy event. And I know some of the events have been smaller, but yet really intimate, amazing, personalized details that are really great for Instagram. So Be Floral, Belle of the Ball, For Your Party, and Michelle Norwood Events are going to be joining us. And we're going to actually show you real examples of Instagram, very popular Instagram photos, and why they did well, and the stories behind these intimate events. So thank you for geeking out with me about SEO. A couple of planners in New York said they were going to have a viewing party. Like, that just made my day to watch our main event, because we did a lot of work on this. Since the pandemic started, our goal has been to really help the industry build stronger digital brands while you have the time, and to also just help you become stronger as we move out of this really tough time. And I'm confident we will be soon moving out of this tough time. So thank you for sitting with me and joining me, and don't go anywhere. You can stay right here. We'll drive you right to the next session. Go take a little break and we will be back soon. Thank you so much.